Hi there guys, welcome back to the channel. We are here for another episode of the career managerial mode in MotoGP 20. We're at the 11th round at BRNO. This is going to be a double episode guys. So after that we're going straight into the Red Bull ring after this race, and we're going to make this a double episode. Just to remind ourselves of the standings currently, we are first in the World Championship at the moment. We're 164 points ahead of Marquez, so Marquez is still chasing us down. Quartararo in third, and he's still chasing us down as well. But for now we're going to get down to track and we're going to get this race underway. So I think this guy is going to be a very close race. We're going to load our setup quickly. I've got a cracking setup guys. It is all in free practice. This bike feels fantastic with this setup. So if you want to try this setup guys, I will leave a link to it. I'll create a short for it, release it as a short, and I'll put a link in the description below where you can find that setup. Have a go, see what you think. What shall we do with our consumption? So we're going to go out on a soft front and we're going to use a medium in the rear. I think that should be okay. What temperature is it? 38 degrees on track. I think this will be okay. We're going to load the tank up. Bike starts to turn very slow with a full tank, as we know, but we're going to give it a go. Qualifying wasn't fantastic actually. All the free practice sessions was awesome. Just awesome. Crutchlow's in second then. He's using a soft hard combination. Marquez is on mediums, so he'll be chasing us for the championship. So a few other guys are on mediums. We've got a soft medium, so we'll see how we go.
We are seconds away from the start of the race.
Okay, let's get this one underway.
The start of the Czech Grand Prix here in Brno.
That Ducati now looks a little bit bland at the side of the new one. We're going to shoot off then in power mode 2. We're going to see if we can get a really good start off the line. We need to get some heat into the tyres, so we need to be tentative on the first corner, as well as we've got a full tank as well. We've got Crutchlow right at the side of us. Oh, that full tank. Is that Dovizioso? It is Dovizioso on the Ducati, so we've been overtaken by the factory Ducati and Crutchlow and Rossi. As we go into this corner, because I can still feel all that weight of the fuel in the tank. But Crutchlow looks like he's making a... Well, it looks like he's checking out. He's doing a runner. He's trying to get out there as fast as he can. Oh, the side of Rossi. Didn't quite make it, but we've still got Dovizioso up the inside of us there. See if we can make this stick. Creep up the inside of him. We're still in power mode 2. We need to hang on to that Honda of Crutchlow's if we can. We can't let him escape this time. Although again, he's not a threat to us, so it won't really matter. Oh, as we gain some ground on Rossi there on that turn. We can see the Ducati running a little bit wide on this full tank. Not got a lot of feeling in the brake, but the tyres are warming up still. But Crutchlow's off. Don't know what he's done to that bike. He's done some serious engine development, I think. Oh! Just managed to sneak up the inside of Rossi there. Or did we take him on the outside? Took him on the outside. Let's see if we can get the power drive down this straight before we hook it up into power mode 1. Down to power mode 1. Okay then, now we're chasing Crutchlow. Let's see if we can get him. As I said, we've had a good weekend. Free practice sessions, we've been leading by half a second the entire weekend. Then it come to qualifying and it all went a bit pear-shaped. Ooh. Yeah, this bike's handling really well around this track. Although we're still struggling a bit to keep it tight on that corner. But it feels good. But let's talk about the GPs. So on the Sunday just gone, of the release of this video anyway, the first GP at Qatar has just taken place. Let me know if you watched it in the comments, guys, and let me know your thoughts on the Ducatis. Did you see that start? They just shot off the line. It was incredible. The drive that they had on the Yamahas, they just went, they disappeared right in front of the eyes. It was like a different race completely. Very impressed, but they didn't hang on to that lead, did they? I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's not seen it, but I was slightly disappointed in Miller. If I'm honest, I had him in my fantasy league. I thought he had a really good weekend. Really good weekend. I thought he'd really taken on that factory Ducati. And I had him in my fantasy league, and he let me down. Okay, we're still in power mode 1 here. We're in second position, no one behind us really. And here we go up the inside. No, we didn't make it stick. That Honda of Crutchlow, what is he on? Of course, he's a test rider now for Yamaha. So he's not in GPs anymore as such, or not racing anyway. I think it was a good decision. I think he'd had his time. But let's see if we can beat him here. No rush, we're still on lap 3 of 7. So there's no rush. But I knew we were going to be strong around here. I'm not going to speak too soon. Tyres are at a good temperature. I did a lot of testing on tyres for this race just to try and get the right compound to keep the temperature into the tyres, and this is what I found was a really good setup. Oh, a little bit wide there. I think Crutchlow is holding us up now. He's sending us offline a little bit. So a good temperature of the tyres, so if you get that front to about 100 degrees, that's where you really want to get it to if you can. That would be a nice temperature for a front tyre, if you can hook it up into that kind of area of temperature, 100 degrees. So we're at 90, so it's warm. And then the rear tyre, of course, you need about 120 is ideal temperature for a rear tyre. They do say in the game, if you go to 140 degrees, you know, that's okay as well, but it's on the edge. But I find if you get the tyre too hot around that temperature, 140 degrees, you just slide the bike everywhere. You can't control the bike. So I would recommend, guys, if you want to make sure you got the right compound, do your testing and try and get them up to a temperature of a rear at 120, around no more than 130. I'd say if you're going above 130, you need to go for a different compound. And your front, get it to about 100 degrees. 90 is okay. You'll be okay at 90. In the 80s, you're probably running a little bit cool. You've got to weigh up the options, I guess. See what works best for you as well. Okay, let's focus a little bit now then. Let's try and get hold of Crutchlow. We've gone a little bit wide there. Not sure what times we're in. What times are we doing? In free practice I was in 1:56, so we're a little bit slow, so the pace is not fast. But I don't feel like I'm going fast either. But we are still on the back of Crutchlow, he's not escaping. And we've got some left in the tank anyway. We've got plenty left here. We've 2 laps to go and we've got 4 laps in the tank. So I might, after this lap, might squeeze it up to power mode 2 and see if we can actually get a win for the race. Yeah, tyres are bob on, absolutely bob on. Proper pleased with the setup, guys. Go and try this setup, honestly, and let me know what you think. So you might have to tweak the gearing, I would say, if you're riding the factory Ducati. But you may not have to change too much more. Right, we're going to go for Crutchlow now. We've got plenty of room behind us, loads of white space. Nobody's really... Whoa, 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 whoa. Had a proper vibration then from the front end. Up to power mode 2. Up the hill, back down to 1. Okay, so 2 laps to go. We're going to go up to power mode 2, just down this straight, then back down to 1. We're going to see if we... Yeah, Crutchlow's looking. We're coming for you, Crutchlow. We're going to attack you on the last lap. I need to get a little bit closer to him, so power mode 2. Now we're making some ground on him. We need to be a bit closer to him if we're going to have a go at him on the last lap. Okay, let's get a bit close to him up this hill if we can. We're still in power mode 2, but I'm going to have to knock it down towards the end of the next lap. Oh, we run wide there. Very deep, very, very deep. Okay, Crutchlow, we come in this lap now. We've got 1.5 laps in the tank. We cannot run out. The rear tyre is now starting to run low. But it's not causing us a problem. I don't think we're going to catch Crutchlow, you know, he's so fast. He's riding a cracking race again. If he carries on winning like this, he will be a contender. Got 0.9 left in the tank, we need to keep an eye on that. We definitely don't want to be running out of fuel. Yeah, that rear tyre now is getting low. So I think it was a good choice. It's just going to last us, just going to last this race out. We're definitely safe for a second, and no one behind us really. I don't even know who is behind us. I've lost a bit of feeling in the front as well now. So Ross is still behind us, so it's pretty much the same as it was off the grid, isn't it? Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh! On the last lap, no! No! Oh, God! What an idiot! I lost a bit of feeling in the front.
Awards ceremony. Let's take a look at the final MotoGP race results.
So we ended up getting a third in the end. Crutchlow come first, Valentino Rossi comes second, because we led him through on the very last corner by going so deep and going out onto the gravel. We still got a third place. Marquez is down in 7th, so I don't think that's impacted us too much. But what a ridiculous end to a race. What a Muppet. Riders' Championship then, so we are now 180 points in front, still leading the race, extended our lead over Marquez by 28 points now, so we're starting to get a fairly healthy lead, so we're starting to get a little bit of a gap for us to, a bit of a safety cushion, I guess. Quartararo though, he's in 3rd place, Jack Miller in 4th, so he's quite a way back, Jack Miller. So it's a 3-horse race again, isn't it? Although Cal Crutchlow, look at him, he's coming up from behind now. He's moved 4 places up. So we need to keep an eye on him. He's done some serious research and development. Petronas SRT team are still 254 points in front. Well, not in front, but 254 points. 54 points in front. Suzuki in 2nd with 200 points. We're in 4th with 180 points, with Repsol Honda in 3rd. Constructors' Championship, Ducati are still up there, with Yamaha trailing behind with 198 points, with Honda in 3rd place.
While he was hoping for a
So after the podium then, let's go and have a quick look.
Good result when you're up against riders of this calibre.
At least his leathers are clean this time. Don't know what he'd been doing in the last race, but his leathers were so dirty. With Dovizioso's, his leathers were dirty as well.
Gave their all, but today these riders have shown that they had a little bit extra in the locker. The crowd is going wild, and finally they can enjoy this deserved moment of glory.
There are plenty of reputation points going up there. That's not going to matter, because in about 3 short weeks now we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. That should be coming through the door. Can't wait for that. Especially now I've seen the new liveries in GP21. They look stunning. And seeing all the new bikes on track as well for the first race at Qatar was incredible. The Ducati, I didn't think I liked it when they first did the release, but actually it's a stunning piece of kit. Massive machine, huge. Saw the winglets. Okay, so let's go and do some office time then. So let's have a quick look. Personal manager, there's nothing happening in there. Technical staff management, there's nothing happening in there either. So nothing we can do there, nothing we're going to do anyway, because we're only going to do this season. And then we're in MotoGP 21. So research and development. So all of this research and development will be complete before we end this season. It might put us in contention actually for Cal Crutchlow, because I think he's done some serious stuff, but there's a piece of me now thinking we should get this engine done and just to move people over, because we're all going to finish all at the same time, and the bike's just going to be incredible, but it might be a few weeks too late. So I'm thinking maybe we should just move some of the aerodynamics individuals and just to move them over to the engine and get this engine complete. So add staff, aerodynamics people. Let's move these onto the engine, see if it helps us out. 6 weeks, 5 weeks, so it's reduced it by 2 weeks. So then let's see if we can move the electronics individuals over as well. See if we can reduce it just another notch. Can we get it down another notch? 4 weeks, yeah, we can get it down to 4 weeks. So let's do that. Try and get that done as soon as possible. That might help us then catch Crutchlow. So suspended electronics at the moment. So that engine will be done in 4 weeks time, so we'll leave that running. And what we'll do with the frame, we'll move when the engine's done, we'll move people over to the frame and get that done, and hopefully we can speed that up a little bit more. So nothing we can do now in any of those areas, so we'll just be moving on to the next week, which we're going straight to Red Bull Ring in Austria. I love this track, it's going to be epic, and we'll be doing this in a moment, guys, so I'll see you on the other side. So here we are then, guys, on the other side at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Great track, love this track. It is one of my favourites. Cal Crutchlow is in 3rd position this time in qualifying. Morbidelli is right back down there in 14th, look. So the Yamahas aren't doing really well. Again, Crutchlow is good in the wet as well, so we need to be a little bit careful with Crutchlow today. Let's just make sure our setup is dialed in. We might talk a little bit more about setup today, guys. I'm getting a few people beginning to ask me about some of the setups that I released. Yeah, what things do. Ultimately, that's been the question recently. What does preload do? Yeah, where do you start to set up? As we go through this race, I'll drop you a few tips on where I start anyway, whether rightly or wrongly, it's where I start and it works for me. So I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through this race. So if you want to learn about setup a little bit or understand what things do, if we get chance, we'll talk about it. So medium tyres for this race, and I think with our setup dialed in, we can get straight down to track. The Marquez in 2nd place, but look at qualifying time, guys, with 2 seconds in front. A lot of people are on softs, but we've gone out on mediums. I've found through testing that that's what works best for us.
Riders have just completed the sighting lap and are lined up on the Red Bull Ring straight. Very little time is left until the start of another Austrian Grand Prix.
Okay, let's try and get ahead of Marquez. This first corner is critical. And we're off. So Marquez is right there, but we've got the old shot as we go into the first corner. Oh! Dovizioso behind us. I can't see at the moment, but we've got the old shot there. Got to get it stopped here though. These are the 2 corners, the critical corners in the game. If you can get around these corners, then you've got a good chance of staying on the bike. This is the other hard braking corner as well, and we've just gone a little bit deep there. We're out on the gravel. Can we Can we keep it though? I think we can. It's much slippier out there than what it was earlier today in qualifying. Much slippier. So we need to just slow down a little bit. Why is it so slippy? There's Ducati again, Dovizioso. We're going to take up the inside, try and get this down the straight. Still, we're in power mode 2, so we need to come out of that really. Let's drop down to power mode 1. We've got 10 laps here at this circuit. So let's try and relax a little bit, get into a rhythm. So Petrucci's behind us. It's not Dovi. Let's see if we can try to eke out just a small gap. Just give us a bit of breathing space, but it's so slippy. And again, the bike feels different. It's this thing in GP20, when you come out your qualifying sessions and you go into the actual race, the bike just feels different. But we have got a full tank of fuel as well, so we're not really tested with this amount of fuel in the bike. So that's going to be one reason, I'm sure. Yeah, we're pulling out a gap now. Actually, Petrucci didn't do that well, did he, in the GPs? For the debut on KTM, he didn't do very well at all. In fact, he come off on the first lap, if I recall. So not a great start for Petrucci on the KTM, on the new KTM. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But the KTM struggled a bit. And I think they were saying that Qatar is not their favourite track anyway, but I'm not so sure they're meant to do as badly as what they did. They didn't do very well at all. And we got Qatar again as well this weekend, so they really need to use that data that they've picked up from the track and use it and make really good use of it. Because I'm expecting really good things from Ducati. I mean KTM, sorry. I really love the livery, I love the bikes, so I'm expecting some really good things to come out of it. But I don't think anyone was that impressed. Oh no. Oh no! Okay, let's get back on the bike. We've got another crasher as well. It looks like there's been a massive crash. Okay, now we've got the challenge. Now it's hotting up now because we've crashed. Where has that put us? 13th. So we've got it all on now, guys. The race is on. The race is now on. Bagnaia at the side of us, Zarco in front. We've got to get that place back. We can't afford not to win. Okay. Morbidelli overtaken. Dovizioso in front of us now. And Jan Mir, the current world champion, he's looking behind us. So we've got the pace. We've still got the pace at this track. So we should be okay, but we've got to concentrate now. So Joan Mir in front of us. See if we can sneak through that gap right in the middle, or is Dovizioso going to close it off? He has. Joan Mir in front. The Ducatis are everywhere. So we made up a few places from our crash there. Oliveira in front of us as well. He was the other KTM guy. Oh, the race has just started to get a bit busy. Let's keep off the curbs if we can. Can we get this stopped and get it up the inside of Oliveira? No, we can't. And that has let Miller back in front. Oh, Dovizioso nearly shoved us in the back. We've still got the fuel. So he's 6th position. So where's Marc Marquez? That's the question we need to be asking. Okay, Takagami now has fallen off. So hotting up the pace now. We're really pushing now, guys. Really pushing. Alex Rin's in front of us now. We're picking them off though, nice and steadily. We've still got 5 laps to go. Maybe we should have gone for a soft tyre on the front. But it's very slippy out there, and that's what happened there. The rear end just let go. I didn't even have any accelerator on or throttle, should I say. I can feel everything moving around underneath me. I don't know if we're going to get to talk about setup now. Right, that rear tyre is now hotted up. Now we're pushing it a little bit. That rear tyre is warming up, so we're going to get a little bit more grip out of it. So we're 4th position now. So we made up a few places after our accident. Let's see what the gap is. So it's Marc Marquez in 3rd. See, we're making time up in the braking zones, and preload has got a lot to do with braking zones. If you can support your springs a little bit more by preloading them, it gives you a little bit better braking. Oh, I'm pushing it, guys. And things are getting a bit wobbly out there. But the race is on with 4 laps to go. Marc Marquez in front of us. Our current contender for the championship. He's chasing us. But we've still got time to save this. Definitely making time up. I didn't see who was leading the race though. Upside of Marquez, can we get it stopped? Vinales is in 2nd place. We just managed to get it stopped in front of Marquez there. Can we keep that place? He's chasing us. I think we've got it. It's Vinales next. It's a good job that we've got the pace and a good setup. It's really helped. So in the wet, guys, in the wet, your setup normally needs to be a little bit softer everywhere, and you need the stability. So this is where your preload comes in, but your rake and trail as well. So I'm not sure where to start, because setups are actually a minefield, but there are some, I guess, rules of thumb that you can follow, I would say, that will actually point you in the right direction in terms of your setup. So I'm trying to concentrate as well. We don't want to bin it again. We haven't got time. Cal Crutchlow's in front. He's winning this race right now, and we know he's making up some places as well. Who's crashed? Alex Marquez has crashed. Carl Crutchlow's fast in the wet. So yeah, so where do I start when I'm doing a setup? The thing is about setup, you need to understand a little bit about how a bike works and what the different things do and how it affects the bike when you change them. And I say it's a minefield, it's a massive subject. So I'll try and point you in the right direction. But I could write a complete training course on it. And I'm no expert. Whoa, whoa! We're getting close to Vinales, who won the first round of the Qatar GP. Fantastic win it was. He rode really, really well. Oh! He's being a little bit aggressive there, though. Let's try and get out of the way of him before it all goes pear-shaped. I'm trying to talk about setup, guys, but we're stuck in the middle of this race. Oh, Crutchlow's down! Crutchlow's lost it, which has gifted us the first position in this race. See if we can make a break, though, from Vinales without crashing. We don't want to get mixed up again. But Vinales is right on our tail. I don't actually mind if he wins this race, because he's not a contender. But I want to tell you where to start. So the first place to start when you're setting up the bike, guys, is geometry. Yeah, this is where I start. I'll tell you where I start. I start with geometry. Okay, and when we say geometry, what do we mean? Effectively, we mean preload. What defines the geometry of the bike is your rake and trail. So we look at rake and trail, then we look at preload, because your preload adjusts the geometry of the bike. That's one thing that affects the geometry of the bike, is preload. Oh, Vinales is right there. So we look at rate, we look at trail, then we look at preload, we also look at springs. So your preload and your springs work together, and then your rake and trail. So that's kind of the first thing that I try to get right when I'm doing a setup, because that is where you're going to make up the most time, if anything. Oh, gone seriously wide there, and Vinales is right behind us. He's made me nervous. Vinales has made me nervous. I'm losing confidence. He thinks he's in Qatar again. Yeah, so look at your geometry first, I would say. That's where I start. Oh, Vinales is right there. Let's get your springs right, get your preload right, get all that dialed in. Get your bike handling, turning the way that you need it to for a track. Oh, Vinales! Go away, we want to win this one. Can we get it over the line before Vinales? I think we can. Sorry guys, we didn't get to talk as much as I'd like to about setup, but
while the riders complete their victory lap and return to Parc Fermé, let's take a look at the final ranking of today's race.
That was a really close race, and it all started when we come off the bike, but we did win the race. We did win the race, and we got the fastest lap of the race as well, over 1:29. Maverick Vinales comes second, Alex Rins come third, Jack Miller fourth, and Dovizioso fifth. So Ducati's doing well again. But what happened to Marquez then? Did he come off as well? He did. No, yes he did, he must have, yeah. I think this is, I don't want to speak too soon, but it's kind of gifting us the championship. Okay, so let's take a look at Riders' Championship then. So we are running away with this now, starting to, but we're only just halfway through the season, just maybe nearly 3/4 through the season, so we've still got some work to do, but we've got 205 points at the moment with Marc Marquez because he's had another off, 53 points trailing. So we've got a couple of chances in the race where we can do a do not finish if we need to. So we're okay there. Maverick Vinales he's 5th, so he's moved up 4 places now. So that's a good result for him. Team Championships then, Yamaha SRT are still leading the way with 260 points, but we've now moved up a place with 205 points into 3rd position behind Team Suzuki. Constructors Championship, Ducati are running away with this, with Yamaha and Honda in 2nd and 3rd. Let's go over to the podium.
This victory is the cherry on top of an exhausting weekend. If his team keeps working like this, it will be really difficult for his opponents to overtake him.
We're getting used to these podiums now. We could do with just upping the difficulty just a little bit, but I'd quite like to win this championship because we're not playing this game after that because we get the new 2021 game. So subscribe now guys, because we're going to do the full career managerial mode in 21, so subscribe now so you don't miss that. Ring that bell as well so you get notified of when I release a new video. Okay, so that's the podium out of the way, so I think we can run through reputation business and get into the team office and see what there is to do there. So reputation is going through the roof, that's gone wild and bonkers. Plenty there, we're meeting all our objectives, which is good. Loads of credits, although we're losing quite a lot of credits with Moto3 because that's going dreadful at the moment. It's a bit slow in the development states in Moto3, but we're doing okay in our research data. We've got loads to play with. So team office then, let's have a look. So personal manager, don't think there's anything in there that we need to worry about, but we have got technical staff management, so we've got a new data analyst. Who's the new data analyst? Young Tess. That's a funny haircut. Looks like she's just got out of the bath. So she's at S+ in frame development and ECU. Wild. So after we've done our engine, we can probably go for her and see if we can work on the frame or electronics. Because if I'm right, we've got a chief engineer in that. No, we haven't. We fired them all. I thought we had some. I thought we had a chief engineer ready to go. Anyway, we've got some development here. 2 weeks to go for the engine, 8 weeks for the frame, 5 weeks for aerodynamics. So we've still got a couple of weeks to go before we get that engine upgrade. So let's just move into the calendar. Because our next race is going to be at Misano, but it's not. It's at Silverstone. So this is where we are next. We're at our home GP in Silverstone. We've got to be careful because I want to make sure that we finish this before the new game comes out. So, and because I work as well, it's finding the time to put these together and actually get some time on the game. So we'll see how it works out, but we are at Silverstone for the next race, guys, so I will see you there. So we're having some really good results at the minute, which is just great. So I'll see you over at Silverstone. The weather's looking good, so it should be a nice dry race. So if you haven't done so already, guys, please give me a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell and share with your friends, and I shall see you in the next episode. Stay safe, guys. Bye bye.
We're joining you live from the Silverstone circuit for this historic MotoGP World Championship event. Let's not waste any more time. The first round of free practice has already begun, and we're about to see the first riders getting on track. The weather forecast for the session is perfect, so riders and teams will be able to concentrate exclusively on fine-tuning their performance.